Welcome to Morris Money, where we talk about some of the most interesting small cap stocks in under 5 minutes. I'm your host, Morris Money. Today, we're talking about ILUS selling part of the company. ILUS recently signed a binding term sheet with Actelis Networks, ticker symbol ASNS, apologize if I butchered that name, for ASNS to acquire its 61% stake in the ILUS industrial subsidiary Quality International QIND, subject to customary terms for closing. At the closing, ASNS will issue to its sellers 19.99% of its common stock and preferred non-voting shares for the balance of the consideration. The companies aim to close the transaction pending regulatory requirements and due diligence within 60 days. The preferred shares shall not be convertible to common stock before 6 months after the closing or until a registration statement is effective, whichever occurs sooner. The exact number of shares of the company to be issued to the sellers will be based on a ratio of valuations of ASNS and QIND to be determined between the parties before closing. After the transaction is complete, QIND will operate as the industrial subsidiary of ASNS, working alongside Actelis Networks, which will function as the technology subsidiary of ASNS. ASNS will consolidate the financials of both of its subsidiaries. ILUS CEO Nicholas Link stated, "We believe that the acquisition of our stake in QIND by NASDAQ-listed ASNS will accelerate the growth of our industrial subsidiary as well as ILUS itself. Following the completion of the transaction, our resultant stake in ASNS should significantly enhance our ILUS balance sheet and provide an improved platform for us to raise additional capital for the expansion of QIND and to complete planned acquisitions." As an ILUS shareholder still, this is disappointing news to hear. To be fair, I haven't been catching up with majority of ILUS news in the past year or so. I pretty much hear about it if someone happens to tell me or I get a comment about it. And in this case, I did get a comment talking about ILUS a couple days ago. So I decided to look up what was happening. And I mean, this is disappointing. Pretty much you're selling back off the ticker that you bought a couple years ago, and we haven't seen much progress with it, as with majority of the plans ILUS had. At under a cent right now, ILUS is pretty much a dead penny stock. Unfortunately, fly all the way to the moon with the best stock content on YouTube. Subscribe in style with Morris Money. It seems like it was a stock that got hyped up during the big meme stock rally in 2021 with a lot of promises and few deliveries. Now, I don't plan to sell my ILUS shares at this point because it'd be pretty pointless, but hopefully some of those 2021 dreams will come to fruition, and eventually, one day, I might even break even on my investment. But as for right now, I'm down about 89%, probably over 90% at this point on ILUS. So pretty disappointing to hear, but hopefully down the line, ILUS does make a comeback and we see some great returns as shareholders. Until then, let me know your thoughts about ILUS down below, thoughts on this news, or just thoughts about the company in general. And thank you for watching Morris Money.